All right, guys, we're going to start the show shortly. Happy Monday to you. Hope you're doing well. Looking forward to connecting with you guys today on the I Love CVille show. A lot to cover on the program, some news to get out on a Monday. If you want to be a part of the show, as always, you can offer your comments, your thoughts, your perspective in the comments section on any of the social media platforms you're watching upon. If you want to send me a DM because you're looking for a little anonymity, that's fine as well. Joanna Bresson, welcome to the program, and Joe Kuhn, I hope you chime in. We're going to be talking some cannabis today and dispensary action on the program. We'll let you know about the newest dispensary that's opening in Charlottesville. We broke that news over the weekend on the I Love CVille network. The owner of that dispensary will join us live on Thursday, and Thursday happens to be the 1st of July, which is Marijuana Legalization Day. So we'll take a look on the impact that's going to have on Charlottesville. The impact that's going to have on dispensaries, the impact that's going to have on the community, the impact that's going to have on the black market. Had a very, I hope Joanna, give him a text to get Joe on there. Joe's a friend of the program. We'd love to get him on there. We'd love for him to listen. We are huge fans of what Joe and his beautiful better half are doing. We had a fantastic conversation over the weekend on Long Island with the dispensary soon-to-come dispensary ownership team, and we will relay to you what this soon-to-come dispensary team is doing in Long Island. It was a little startling what's on the very near horizon. I think the black market, when it comes to cannabis, of course, the black market is the market not associated with above-board retail. Is still primed to thrive, and we'll let you know why. We'll also let you know the strategy that a lot of the dispensaries are trying to do as they hedge and get ready for Thursday, the 1st of July, Marijuana Legalization Day. A lot to cover on today's program. We'll spotlight a piece of property on 4th Street, Heather Higher Way, that's for rent. Alan Kajin, the owner of the property, will give you some perspective on price point, what potentially could go there on the show. We'll talk about what could be the hottest neighborhood in Albemarle County after years, if not close to 10 years, of no property moving at all. Glenmore in Albemarle County, the homes are trading in less than a week in Glenmore. I mean, it's just startling the about face that is happening in eastern Albemarle County, and I know firsthand what's happening out there, so I will relay that to you. We will take a look at the Urban Outfitters building and kind of talk price points on the Urban Outfitters building. It's expensive. Now, you may not need all 8,000 square feet plus like Urban Outfitters did, but this is not cheap. Even if you subdivide it and take one of the smaller subdivisions. So a lot to cover on the program. Give the show a like and a share if you're watching Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, ilovecville.com. Anywhere you're watching, give it a like and a share. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell somebody about it. J-Dubs, give me 10 seconds and we can rock and roll. Good Monday afternoon, guys. Jerry Miller, and welcome to the I Love CVille show. We are live in Charlottesville. across Albemarle County, Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, and the world on the I Love CVille network. Today's show is a fantastic one for you. It's loaded with information. We thank Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine for being a part of the program, a partner of not only the I Love CVille network, but our advertising agency, VMV Brands. Dr. Wagner and his team absolutely have your back at Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine. Also, the fine folks at Ting Fiber Internet power the network, and their customer service is frankly second to none. I mean, second to none. Was it Daniel who came by last week or a couple weeks ago that helped us, Judah? It was Daniel, right? Yeah, I mean, Ting's customer service, guys, is absolutely fantastic. Judah Wickhauer, the voice behind the microphone. Occasionally, he's the director of the show. A lot we're going to cover today, including a new downtown mall dispensary. This new downtown mall dispensary grand opening is Thursday. Grand opening day coincides with marijuana legalization day. We will have the owner of the new dispensary in the downtown mall, Skooma, on the show Thursday in that chair right there. We'll spend an hour chatting with an entrepreneur who's going to bring a boutique dispensary to the mall. More on that in a matter of moments, including what to expect from dispensaries across Charlottesville, Albemarle County, and Central Virginia. Legalization for cannabis is July 1st, which is Thursday. The nitty-gritty starting July 1. People 21 and older will be able to have an ounce of weed on them and not get in trouble with the law. They can grow up to 4 cannabis plants at their homes and not get in trouble with the law. However, if you think you can go into a dispensary and purchase cannabis, marijuana, weed, Mary Jane, green, herb, herbashanda, landscaping, whatever you want to call it, it's not going to happen until 2024. More on that and the expectations for Charlottesville and Central Virginia today on the I Love CVille show. I want to spotlight a property on 4th Street, Heather Higher Way. Alan Kajin owns this property. It's got a price tag of $2,350 per month. $2,350 per month. We'll take a look at what could work well at Kajin's property on 4th Street that really is in really good shape. Broadband for all of Central Virginia is a topic that's on everybody's mind. In fact, it's one of the tenets of my campaign for Albemarle County Board of Supervisors. There's an interesting partnership on the horizon for broadband in Albemarle County, broadband in 9 counties across Central Virginia. This partnership would be with Firefly Broadband, Dominion Energy, and the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. So it would apply to counties Albemarle, Appomattox, Buckingham, Cumberland, Fluvanna, Goochland, Greene, Louisa, and Powhatan. Albemarle County is one of the most affluent counties in the Commonwealth, yet there's a large portion of Albemarle County that has 0 broadband internet. So this is still years away. This is why this is a huge aspect of my campaign for Albemarle County Board of Supervisors. The conversation is barely in the first inning. Barely in the first inning. And it's going to take stakeholders to take the broadband for everyone in Central Virginia and push it across the goal line and into the end zone so we can all celebrate, moms and dads and kids alike, for broadband for all. It's a public utility, boys and girls. That topic in a matter of moments on the I Love CVille show. I want to highlight a neighborhood that I know extremely well, the Glenmore neighborhood in Keswick. Folks, this may just be the hottest neighborhood in Albemarle County right now. We will explain why we think the Glenmore neighborhood is the hottest neighborhood in Albemarle right now. For nearly a decade before COVID, the Glenmore neighborhood had properties sitting stagnant and going long in the tooth from a days on market standpoint. Now, these homes are trading in a day, a weekend, and less than a week at price tags that are very up there. We'll explain why Glenmore is the hottest neighborhood in Albemarle County right now. We will also relay a new concept from the Sweet Frog founder, a new concept that's not tied to dessert or frozen yogurt or Korean barbecue. The Sweet Frog founder is now going to Nashville Hot Chicken. That story on the I Love CVille show. And how about a look at the Urban Outfitters building on the downtown mall? The Urban Outfitters building on the downtown mall comes with a monthly rent of nearly $18,400 $500. That story on the program. First, we talk cannabis and dispensaries. Thursday of this week, David, the owner of Skooma on the downtown mall, this boutique dispensary is located right next to Rapture Restaurant. If you're looking at Rapture, the space right to the left of Rapture, also owned by Alan Kajin, interestingly, Alan Kajin is one of the most powerful landlords in Charlottesville, and it's not even close. The San Francisco attorney, living a bi-coastal lifestyle, former partner of the late, great Gabe Silverman, Alan Kajin is a powerful landlord in this town. I'm going to highlight another one of his properties later in the show. First, the property next to Rapture, where the boutique dispensary is. Interestingly, Alan also owns Rapture as well. Mike and Cecilia renting from Alan. So David will be a guest on the I Love CVille show on Thursday. He will sit right here. This gentleman, formerly of Monticello Motors fame, also worked at one time for Tiger Fuel. He's got hustle, he's got heart, he's got chutzpah, and he's got passion for days. I think you will find him incredibly inspiring and compelling when he joins us on Thursday. We let you know over the weekend that his boutique dispensary will open this coming week, July 1, which is marijuana legalization day. More on that in a moment. David's going to open a boutique dispensary that is clean, that is very elegant in its design. Think the Draft Tap Room of CBD. What I mean by Draft Tap Room is, at Draft Tap Room, you go to the taps, you use a card, you put that card in front of the beer you want, and you serve yourself. This boutique dispensary will have similar elements of automation, and because it's automized, is that the automated? Thank you, Judah. Because it's automated, you will need less personnel, less labor in the store. It's going to focus on CBD at first, Delta 8. He will let us know more on Thursday. Kajin's the landlord, so you know you had to jump through a ton of hoops before you go open from a lease standpoint. I mean, Alan's a smart guy. And Alan, I know you watch and listen to this show, my friend. I enjoy our conversations on the phone when we have them. I enjoy running into your representation, Chaz Webster, around the downtown mall when I see Chaz. I think you got this landlord concept down extremely well. It certainly helps, Alan, that you're an attorney and you can write your own leases and handle your own paperwork. You're talking leases that are the thickness of a book. And I'm not talking like a thin paperback. I'm talking like the Old Testament and the New Testament combined. Like the King James Version in big print, not small print. That's the thickness of these leases for Mr. Kajin. So this dispensary, I think, is going to have fantastic success. I know the ownership team firsthand, and I'm excited to introduce you to David on Thursday. He's a businessman. He understands how to grow a brand from his time owning Monticello Motors on Route 29. He gained even more intelligence working for Tiger Fuel, where he started managing the car washes for Tiger Fuel. However, once you're an entrepreneur and you get a taste of the freedom of entrepreneurship, you have a difficult time going back and working for somebody else. I would imagine that was the case with David with his time at Tiger Fuel. What can we expect from dispensaries moving forward? Well, we can expect the following. Initially, these dispensaries will focus on CBD. Delta 8 seems to be the best of the best from a CBD standpoint. I also believe that these dispensaries will be a point of sale for the supply chain of growing cannabis at home. No, that does not mean selling seeds. You will not be able to buy marijuana, nor will you be able to buy seeds to grow marijuana at a dispensary until 2024, unless Richmond and the delegates change it and make it earlier. Right now, 2024 is when you can go into a dispensary and buy retail cannabis in the Commonwealth of Virginia. However, that will not preclude the dispensaries from selling the grow equipment to help you grow your 4 plants at your crib, at your casa, at your house. So I would expect, along with CBD at these dispensaries, you will have a lot of growing equipment. Similar if you go into Fifth Seasons on Preston. If you go into Fifth Seasons at Preston, you can get all the stuff you need to create your own still to brew beer at your house. I would think the dispensaries, the smart ones at least, will offer and sell the equipment you need to grow your 4 plants at your house. And you can start doing that on July 1, along with having an ounce of marijuana on your person on July 1. A couple of questions that I think should be asked by everybody, okay? Here's one of the questions that should be asked by everyone. Should the law, Johnny Law, retroactively expunge the records of men and women popped for marijuana possession? I'll cut to the chase in layman's terms. If last year, if this year, if a few years ago, you were arrested and convicted for marijuana possession, and it was an ounce or less, or you were arrested and convicted of growing marijuana at home, and it was 4 plants or less, should your record be expunged? And if you're in jail currently serving time for that infraction, should you be released because of this new law? People are torn on this topic. I am not torn on this topic. If on the 1st of July, you allow humans in the Commonwealth to have an ounce of weed on their person and go anywhere they want, and you allow humans in the Commonwealth to grow 4 plants, up to 4 plants in their homes, then you should expunge the records of people in the past who got popped for these infractions, got fined, or worse, are serving time behind bars. You can't make something legal now and still have people serving time behind iron bars tomorrow, if it's on Friday, if it's legal on Thursday. I'll rephrase that. If you're making this legal on Thursday, from my standpoint, it's unfair for people to still be behind bars on Friday or Thursday morning for this. You should expunge the records, my opinion. You should release anybody from jail, my opinion. What's even worse about this topic is people of color are 3.7 times more likely to be profiled and arrested and convicted for this plant than people of white skin tone. I'll relay that to you again. People of color are 3.7 times more likely to be profiled, arrested, and convicted for cannabis-related infractions than white people. Do the research online. I certainly have. Because of the lopsided profiling, the lopsided arrests, and the lopsided convictions tied to this plant, because this plant is going to be legal on the 1st of July for men and women in the Commonwealth to have an ounce or less on their person, because the Commonwealth is going to allow men and women in the Commonwealth to have 4 plants grown at their home or less, I feel it's fair and applicable to expunge the records of those that have committed this infraction in the past. And if they're behind bars, open up Iron City and let them out and give them their freedom back. I'm curious of your take on that topic. Give me your take on the comment section anywhere you're watching. I see the comments coming in here on Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn. I will get to those in a matter of moments. Next topic. Let's talk retail and real estate and downtown mall. Then we'll go broadband. We'll explain why Glenmore is the hottest neighborhood in Albemarle County since the pandemic. And we'll give you a taste of the price tag for the Urban Outfitters on the downtown mall, $18,500 a month rent. Good God. Good God. Keith Smith will join us in about 20 minutes here on today's program. First, another one of Kajean's properties. Judah, I want to talk about 108 4th Street Northeast, otherwise known as Heather Heyer Way. Alan owns a number of the properties on the downtown mall. Alan owns the train station on West Main. He owns a hell of a lot of real estate in this town. A hell of a lot of real estate in this town. On 4th Street, right across from kind of the pie chest, before you get to the crossing, the downtown mall crossing, there's a handful of storefronts there. You remember it's been the cigar shop. Cigar shop was there. The candy store was there. The luxury lingerie shop, was it Derrier de Soie? I think it's Derrier de Soie was there. Current tenants include Newtown Fitness Club, an exercise studio where you rent the place by the hour or the 15-minute increment. That's a Kajean-owned property, although it's not Kajean's business. He's renting it to Newtown Fitness. There's a tattoo parlor. Alan informed me he's kind of pivoted his model since COVID, and he's now more open-minded to new business concepts that before COVID he otherwise would not consider. One of those business concepts he's more open-minded to, he explained to me in a phone call recently, was tattoo parlors. Now he's got a tattoo parlor there on 4th Street. Another one that is currently vacant, right next to the tattoo parlor, I believe the candy shop was here. Was the candy shop? Pretty sure this was the location of the candy shop. Can you go to the studio camera, J-Dubs? You see next to me, for those that are watching the visual aspect of the show, these love signs next to me were at one time in the window of the candy shop. I got to know the gentleman who owned the candy shop. He also had a location in Roanoke. Before he closed down, he reached out to me and said, Jerry, you want to buy any of my stuff, or do you know anybody that can purchase any of the stuff as I'm closing down? I bought the love signs from him. Judah painted them red. They were what, blue and orange, J-Dubs? Yeah. They were like blue and orange. We painted them red to match the I Love Seville motif and logo. And then I helped him sell a lot of the showcases in the candy shop where the candy was in to a client of mine. Anywho, this location is now for rent. It's 1,064 square feet, 1,064 square feet. The monthly price tag is 2,350 Bs a month, 2,350 bones a month, 2,350 jackaroos per month. It's got adjustable LED lighting. It's a very open concept. There's a restroom and a kitchenette in the back, quartz countertops in the back, a stainless mini fridge with a freezer in the back, a built-in hot plate in the back, and a little office area for someone who wants kind of like an office to close off from the retail spot. $2,350 per month for this spot. Not cheap, but probably in the price tag of what the downtown mall commands. And I'm going to explain why. Urban Outfitters, I'm going to show you Urban Outfitters in a matter of moments. $18,500 for that spot. Per month, cheapest. So we're going to... Oh, I just got a text message from a landlord in the downtown mall. I'm reading this really quickly. All right, I'm going to put that to a side for now. I think this spot has a lot of potential. It's one of two cut-throughs on the downtown mall. City Hall is getting very close to approving this downtown mall beer garden concept that we've championed for 3-4 years on the I Love Seville network. You have new businesses and restaurants reopening on the mall. You have a roaring 20s hunger around Charlottesville and much of the country because we were quarantined for so long. So people are chomping at the bit to spend their money, to get out, to socialize, to eat, drink, and be merry. You got the Code Building, Joffrey Woodruff's Center of Developing Entrepreneurs, months away from opening. I think you're going to have a demand in downtown Charlottesville like we have not seen in a very, very long time. In the businesses that choose to open now, as things are coming back on market, will be synonymous with the businesses like mine that opened in 2008, 2009, during the Great Recession caused by the housing crisis. When I opened my business in May 31 of 2008, God, that was over 13 years ago, almost 13 years and a month. People told me I'm crazy. You're opening a business in a recession. That's the same thing people are saying to businesses that are opening now. You're crazy. You're opening your business during COVID. But the businesses that could sustain during the Great Recession, mine, 2008, or the businesses that can sustain during a pandemic of generational proportions, this dispensary that's opening next to Rapture, that will have its grand opening on Thursday, these are the ones that are going to end up having some long-term success because they managed something that had never been seen, and they're opening essentially at economy rock bottom. When you're at rock bottom economy, and you know Americans have been saving money for 15 or 16 months because they haven't been going out, and you know Americans have credit card debt that's lower than they've ever had because they haven't been going out, and you know Americans got stimulus checks from the government, their stock portfolios are better than they've ever been. And I'm going to speak for Judah here and me here. Ours are better than they've ever been. Judah, is that not right for you? He says yes. Okay? These are indicators that the economy is prime to go absolutely bananas. You have folks moving to Charlottesville and Central Virginia that are working from ISPs that have jobs in big city markets. They sold their homes in McLean, in Arlington, in Fairfax, in D.C., in New York City, in Fairfield, Connecticut, Long Island, in Westchester, and they moved down here, and they're working from an ISP address, from an internet service provider, we suggest Ting, and they're commanding big city paychecks, and they have buku spending power. The back end of 2021, and when students return to grounds, and remember, UVA is operating business as usual with one exception, and that one exception is students must be vaccinated to return to grounds this fall to learn at the University of Virginia. Look at all these economic indicators we have going that are positive. UVA back to normal this fall with the exception of students having to be vaccinated. I would bet you 90% plus of the students get vaccinated and return to grounds. That's one indicator. Indicator number two, the New York Times 2 weeks ago, the world's newspaper, the New York Times said Charlottesville, Virginia was one of the top spots to vacation on the East Coast. So the world's newspaper is sending people from all over the globe to Charlottesville and Central Virginia for vacationing because of our tremendous success with vaccination rates in the city of Charlottesville and Albemarle County. Albemarle County and the city of Charlottesville are number 1 and 3 respectively in the Commonwealth of Virginia from a vaccination rate standpoint. That's the second indicator. Indicator number 3, Americans have saved more money than ever because they've been quarantining during a pandemic. Indicator number 4, credit card debt is at the lowest point it's ever been for Americans because they have not been going out. Indicator number 5, outsiders, Yankees, people from the West Coast, people from the Midwest, people from Northern Virginia, are scooping up real estate in Charlottesville and Albemarle County at prolific proportions. They are working from ISPs in their basement while maintaining their big city salaries, yet have spending power they've never had before because the cost of living in Charlottesville and Albemarle, Central Virginia, is a hell of a lot lower than New York City, than Northern Virginia, than Westchester, than Manhattan, than Long Island. That's another indicator. How about yet another one for you? With mortgage rates at generational lows, families are refinancing their mortgages at clips we've never seen before. And this refinancing is generating more spending power every month because the overhead each month is a little bit lower. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and German shepherds and chow chows of all sizes, the back half of 2021 and 2022 are going to be the best economic situations we have had in Charlottesville and in Central Virginia in a really long time, maybe ever. And that is not hyperbolized. That is just frank conversation. I've given you many indicators to back up that statement. The entrepreneurs that choose to open businesses now are opening at precisely the right time. And this is coming from someone who opened his firm May 31st, 2008, 13 plus years ago, in the midst of a real estate crisis that we had never seen before. I want to give you a couple other options. And then we'll talk the Sweet Frog Founders' new concept. We'll explain why Glenmore is the hottest neighborhood in Albemarle County, and we'll talk broadband for Central Virginia. I'm going to jump a couple spots on the rundown. If you're looking on screen, that PTI Ask Tony and Mike rundown you see on screen, in my business, that's called a rundown. And for the landlord that just sent me the direct message, I will call you back later this afternoon. Urban Outfitters. The price tag for Urban Outfitters, the building on the downtown mall, it used to be the hardware store. Remember the hardware store? That was like, the hardware store closed in the early 2000s. What did it close, like 2001, I think, 2002 for the hardware store? I'll give you some specs. This spot is 8,874 square feet. It's freaking massive. 8,874 square feet. The price per square is $25 a square, $25 a square foot. So 8,874 times $25 a square foot, you got a yearly rent of $221,850. $221,850. Divide that by 12 months in a year, and your monthly nut is $18,487.50. I will repeat that again. Your monthly nut, if you want the entire Urban Outfitters building, as Urban Outfitters had their business laid out, is $18,487.50. The yearly rent on that is $221,850. Their common area requires no CAM charge to the tenant. So that's something positive. Common area requires no CAM charge to the tenant. The first floor fronts with an entrance on the downtown mall. You do have the opportunity to subdivide this building if you don't want all this space. You can take the first floor and chop it up into 3,369 square feet. Or you can take the first floor suite 1, which is 5,505 square feet. That's maybe how it becomes more manageable for somebody. Maybe how it becomes more manageable. Regardless, I do not see, maybe I'm wrong on this. I do not see a local business, even the small first floor space, 3,369 square feet is the small one. So 3,369 times $25 a square, that's 84 G's a year. Divide by that by 12, that's $7K plus, $7,018.75 for the first floor small one. Do we know many locally owned businesses? Do we know many entrepreneurs in Charlottesville and Central Virginia that would even take the risk on the small subdivided space of $7,018 a month? It's not going to be a one-year lease. My man Hawk Hawkinsmith is the guy behind it. He's the commercial agent you're going to have to deal with. I've dealt with Hawk Hawkinsmith on other deals I've done personally. Hawk's a reasonable guy. He's a reasonable dude. It's just the price tag. How many locally owned businesses or local entrepreneurs are going to sign a multi-year lease? And you're probably looking at, I would say, minimum of 5-year commitment. So you times that by 12, you're looking at 84 G's a year, 84,225 to be exact. Times that by 5-year minimum lease. I mean, you're looking at a commitment of $421,000. How many mom and pops, how many local entrepreneurs, how many local brands are going to sign a dotted line and personally guarantee a 5-year, $421,000 lease? I just don't know that many. There's a reason Hawk Hawkinsmith attracted Urban Outfitters. They had the burn rate and the capital position to agree to the terms of the lease. Chains on the downtown mall just don't work. Five Guys could not cut it on the downtown mall. Remember when Five Guys was on the mall, the burger joint? Five Guys could not cut it. Urban Outfitters could not cut it on the downtown mall. What other chains on the downtown mall could not cut it? Someone help jog my memory. I can't think of any other chains on the downtown mall. Judah, can you think of any? Five Guys and Urban Outfitters could not cut it downtown. You take the UVA corner. Sheetz Cafe couldn't cut it on the UVA corner. Qdoba could not cut it on the UVA corner. Do we think Chipotle is going to be able to cut it on the University of Virginia corner? I don't. There are some shopping districts, the UVA corner, the downtown mall, Midtown along West Main, and Preston Avenue. Those shopping districts are not situated for chains or big brands. Fifth Street Station, yes, that's situated for chains and big brands. Barracks Road, yes, situated for chains and big brands. Stonefield, sure, situated for chains and big brands. The Hollymead Town Center, yes, situated for chains and big brands. The intimate, charming, beloved, localized, humanized, and personalized shopping districts like West Main, downtown, and the UVA corner, I do not think are situated for chains and big brands. The whole reason you patronize or you're a shopper or an eater or a diner on the corner or West Main or the downtown mall is because you're looking for something local. You want to do as the locals do. You don't want to do as the tourists do. Tourists go downtown or to the corner or to West Main to do as what we do, townies. They will bypass a Five Guys, a Qdoba, a Sheetz, and Urban Outfitters, and instead they will patronize the Virginian restaurant, Coupe de Villes, the Biltmore, Maya Restaurant, Public Fish and Oyster, Tavern and Grocery, Citizen Burger Bar, Zocalo, the Men's and Boys Shop, Java Coffee. You see what I'm saying? Time will tell. But Urban Outfitters, if you want the whole space, you're looking at nearly $18,500 a month. If you want the subdivided small space that's 3,369 square feet, you're looking at over $7K a month. You're looking at substantial overhead. And I just don't see a local person doing this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Time will tell. All right, next headline, Jude, I want to get to is, all right, let's talk quickly broadband for everyone in Central Virginia. Dude, this is so far away. It's like at a smoke and mirrors standpoint right now. So there's a partnership, and this partnership is between Firefly Broadband, Dominion Energy, and the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. And this joint venture between Dominion Energy, Firefly Broadband, and the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative will bring broadband fiber to the following counties: Albemarle, Appomattox, Buckingham, Cumberland, Fluvanna, Goochland, Greene, Louisa, and Powhatan. Here's the thing. This partnership, years away, like literally years away. We need stakeholders in this community to take this idea and run with it. Take this idea and sprint with it. Take this idea, put it in the back of a Ferrari, and race with it. This is why this is a key tenet in my platform. Broadband, I'm running for Board of Supervisors in Albemarle County. Board of Supervisors can do Albemarle. Albemarle County is one of the most affluent counties in the Commonwealth. Literally, one of the most affluent counties in all of Virginia. Yet the majority of Albemarle County does not have broadband internet. I want you to think about that. Not having broadband internet in 2021, coming out of COVID, is synonymous with not having running water at your home. It's a public utility, essentially. I will take broadband for Central Virginia, put it on this 155-pound frame, and help take this across the goal line and into the end zone. You have my word on this. My word on this. I have friends that live in this area that have resources and means, and I have friends that live in this area that do not have resources and means. And both alike do not have broadband. In fact, the ones that have resources and means were going to hot spots in the county to download work for their kids on a tablet and then take that tablet back home and use the tablet offline because their internet was that piss poor. That is a travesty. That is a travesty. The positive is a joint venture between Rappahannock, Dominion, and Firefly Broadband, Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. The very realistic aspect of this positive is this is years away. Not tomorrow, not next month, not even next year. We're talking years away, and that is a travesty. Next topic on the show. There's a neighborhood in eastern Albemarle County called Glenmore. Frank Kessler was the developer and the visionary behind this neighborhood. It has roughly 870 rooftops. It is built around a country club. And for decades, the Glenmore neighborhood had listings within its gates that sat on the market for years, if not longer. If you were before COVID able to trade your home in Glenmore in under a year, you were lucky. Many of the listings sat cold and stale and stagnant for years, forcing sellers to do price cut after price cut, or forcing sellers to reconsider their retirement plans and just stay in the home because they could not sell their crib. Because of COVID-19 and because of this pandemic, this neighborhood, like many that offer space and amenities, has gone gangbusters. The otherwise long days on market before COVID has now been whittled down to 1 day, 2 days, or a weekend of days on market. Homes in this neighborhood are trading sight unseen. Homes in this neighborhood are trading in multiple offer competitive situations at price tags that are above list price. And I'm going to give you the nitty-gritty why. Here it is in a nutshell. These homes are lots that are, except for the cottages, all the other homes are half-acre lots, if not bigger. You have walking paths all over the neighborhood, walking trails that are paved all over the neighborhood, COVID-safe activity. You have hiking trails all over the neighborhood, COVID-safe activity. You've got lakes to fish in all over the neighborhood, COVID-safe activity. You've got a golf course that is pristine all over the neighborhood, COVID-safe activity. You got 10 plus tennis courts, COVID-safe activity. You got 4, soon to be 6 dedicated pickleball courts, COVID-safe activity. You got 2 platform tennis courts, COVID-safe activity. You got a full-service restaurant, a full-service snack bar, and a bar in the basement that does not have very many people in it at any given time. You have outside seating for each of those as well. COVID-safe activity, COVID-safe activity, and COVID-safe activity. You add these indicators and you combine them, and you have what could be the hottest neighborhood in all of Albemarle County from not only a total sales standpoint, but from a days on market standpoint, and undoubtedly, from an about face standpoint before COVID and after COVID. No hood in Albemarle has done a 180 more than Glenmore before COVID and after COVID. And that's just a fact. We'll get to some comments and then we'll welcome Keith Smith here in about 30 seconds to the program. J-Dubs, if you want to give him a little tap on the glass of the green room here of the I Love CVille show, and let him know to put down his white chocolate mocha latte and the manicure and pedicure he's getting over there in our green room of the I Love CVille network, and it's his time to shine. That would be much appreciated. He could bring the white chocolate mocha latte on set, but the pedicure and manicure cannot be on set. That's for green room only, I'm sorry. Pedicure and manicure is green room only, Keith Smith. Thank you, my friend. You can bring the white chocolate mocha latte from the green room if you'd like as well. Damn, he was getting a massage out in the green room as well? We're being very generous to our guests these days, Keith Smith. Help yourself. That's why it's there. Bring it on set if you like. Certainly can do that. All right, a couple items out of the notebook. Judah, if you want to switch to this camera here. So Bashir's on the downtown mall is gaining traction and attention right now. The old Bashir's Taverna is owned by the city of Charlottesville. There's been 3 different restaurant groups or restaurateurs that have recently toured this location. We know it was once a restaurant. The city of Charlottesville is thinking whether or not it should make it a restaurant again. The city of Charlottesville understands that it's a very competitive space. What are you doing with those? Leave those alone over there, Smith. This guy. That's $5 right there. That's someone bought that. That's going to someone in Crozet. The city of Charlottesville is hesitant about making the Bashir's Taverna location a restaurant again. And it's for competitive reasons. They know the space is saturated. Furthermore, you're going to have to do a little bit of remodeling. It's going to need a hood fan inside the restaurant, and a hood fan is not cheap. If a hood fan cannot be installed into the Bashir's Taverna location, it's going to really limit what type of restaurants can go into the Bashir's Taverna spot. That being said, I think it's best situated for a restaurant, and I know 3 different restaurant groups have toured the space within the last 60 days. I know this because I helped set these groups up. So I will follow closely what's happening and materializing with that space, a location of pristine proportions with its proximity to the pavilion. Fridays After 5 is back. Opera at the Pavilion is back. Concerts are back. And we're this close to a downtown mall beer garden. There's no better time to have a restaurant in the mall. All right, the freshly pedicured, manicured, and massaged Keith Smith is going to come now on set. You can bring your cocktail or your white chocolate mocha latte if you'd like. Cocktail's finished. Coffee's finished.
I tell you, up in your game in your green room.
Well, the green room is stepping up, Smith.
You were up in your game.
The green room is stepping up. Buddy. How are you, my friend?
You know, anytime I get an opportunity to see you and get in front of this mic and Judah and feed Liza, it's a good day.
That's a great thing.
And the green room is pretty awesome.
Thank you. What's the good word, my friend?
Good show today. I was feverishly taking notes before I walked over here from my office. And
where do you want to start?
You know, you're spot on about Glenmore. I actually built the first custom home in Glenmore in, I think it was the Stone Age.
I didn't understand. I didn't know that.
Yeah, sure.
So what were the homes that were being built before that one?
Oh, there was none. Literally, when I built it, they were still putting the infrastructure in the ground, and water and sewer was in the ground.
So you built the first home in Glenmore?
Well, one of the first homes. It was a custom home. At that point, it was a custom home, and in order to do that, you had to have a one-on-one. In order to be able to build in there, you had to have a one-on-one meeting with Frank, and if you got the thumbs up, you were allowed to do that. So we built a home.
What was Frank Kessler's talent? I never met Frank Kessler. Rest in power, Frank Kessler.
Yeah. You know, we talk about ABC, always be closing. He was ABC, always be communicating. He was one heck of a communicator. You know, it's just kind of Ronald Reagan-esque, the way his ability to communicate with you. And even though, you know, so let's put it this way. I was just a young man. I was younger than you at that time.
Okay.
I was a really young man when I was building, just out of the Marine Corps, to build that house. And he welcomed me in. I was nobody, you know, and didn't have the decades of experience I have at the moment. And he welcomed me in there. So, you know, God rest his soul, but I've never had a problem with Mr. Kessler.
Why? Okay, serious question. Why did those listings sit for so long before COVID?
Yeah, so I was trying to think this through as I was hoofing it over, and you know, let's try to twist it around.
Please.
Right, you're everything, but you know, you're an expert in commercials.
Commercial's my cup of tea.
Way more than I am.
Okay.
Right.
I wouldn't say that. You know commercial really well.
Yeah, but sometimes commercial properties just don't work for whatever reason, right?
Okay.
And you were talking about on the way over the old, you know, I do at the, oh God, I'm escaping me, the restaurant, the 8,000 square feet.
The old hardware store.
Old hardware store, right?
Yeah. Another one that may not work would be where Hardywood Pilot Brewery was. Skipping Rock was there on West Main. That spot, I'm worried if it's cursed. I'm also worried about where Tonic is. Now, what Courtney and her business partner have done at Tonic.
Have you eaten there?
I have. It's amazing.
It is.
But that's been a ton of iterations before it was Tonic.
And it's weird, right? So the
It's got a
twist.
funky layout.
Well, but what they did on their
They
outdoor,
changed it.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
big time. But on the bigger commercial, where Aldi is, I think now, or where the old Circuit City
Okay.
used to be,
Okay.
nothing could ever survive there. And then all of a sudden, Aldi is hitting it out of the ballpark. I don't have a real technical reason for it, but it just seemed that it's been sitting forever. Lake Monticello was another example of that, right? Lake Monticello sat pretty dormant from 68, 69 up to 80 in the mid 80s. There was a resurgence, then it kind of sit dormant again. So these projects go through these life changes. But I got to tell you, I did some quick numbers. You're spot on, bro. Right now, last 12 months going back, from today going 12 months back, you got 14 days on market, which is
14 days on market is the average for Glenmore.
that's the median.
That's the, oh my gosh.
Right.
14 days on market. Did you hear that, guys?
Right. You were talking 10. I just
Yeah.
went back 5.
Yeah.
92
92.
was 5 day. 92 5 years ago, same 1 year
Uh-huh.
was 92 days on market.
Wow.
The prices today, the median price point for the last 12 months is 744.
744 is the median price point.
That's correct. Last year, 5 years ago, I apologize, same 1 year was 616.
Jesus. So 616 before COVID?
So this is 5 years ago.
Okay, 616 5 years ago, 744 now.
Correct. So I just took a 5-year chunk out of it
Okay.
just to see what it would look like. Interesting, as it stands right now, there's 15 homes on the market in Glenmore. Only 3 of them.
Are actual homes. The rest are proposed.
That's exactly
proposed
right.
attached.
That's
There's
exactly
only 3
right.
that are tangible.
There-
There's a cottage that I sent to my in-laws, 510 price tag, traded in a weekend.
We have a mutual client
Uh-huh.
that I sent that to also. So
The
this
510 cottage
this is a hell of a deal.
went in the weekend. It was the best deal
Yeah,
I've seen in that
It
neighborhood.
was a hell of a deal.
Why is it so hot?
You know, I think you articulated it spot on. You know,
Amenities for COVID?
COVID, you know, I had an interview. One of the reasons I was late, I had an interview for a magazine about biking and bike ped and how walkable neighborhoods and bike neighborhoods are becoming the thing. Golf courses now, right?
Yeah.
For decades, developments were like, oh my God, we got to get rid of these things, turn it into or whatever. But now it's just the opposite. So the conversation I was having with this journalist was about, you know, has COVID forever changed this? And I think it has. I think it really has. I think you're going to see these projects that were a little dormant for a little while start ramping up. A lot of it has to do with there's just not a lot to buy, right? You know, how many? You know this better than I do. How many lots are in Glenmore at the moment?
There's 870 rooftops.
Got it.
And of those 870 rooftops, there's, I think, 40-some developable lots
Got it.
that do not have a rooftop.
Got it.
And Stanley Martin has cornered a lot of those
Without doubt.
lots.
Craig Builders is also out
Yeah,
there.
Craig's also in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just to do the math, right, out of just a simple math, there's 1,000. Just call it 1,000, just for my little brain.
Sure.
There's only 3 for sale. Everything else has, depending on where it's at, and then is a 2022 delivery.
What do you make of that?
I think somebody's been trying to talk to me about advertising and marketing.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
gangbusters.
Yeah.
I mean, you should see this. Like, I had friends that were walking the trail that came across 2 other people that were walking the trail. The 2 other people that were walking the trail said, we're thinking about putting our home on the market. And the friends that were walking the trail that encountered those people said, we'll see it that night. 3 days later,
Gone.
they struck a deal themselves.
So we've been talking about this on Real Talk, this market monitor that we have available at our Paragon and MLS, and I've been really tracking actually 4 or 5 times a day, specifically what's coming on new and what's going into pending. And I've been watching this really hard since the show on Friday. And I was getting really excited on Friday night, Saturday morning, because the new was double the pending, right? So there's like a new on market and pending. And I was going, okay, look, it's starting to change.
Not so much now.
Until I looked at it.
Yeah, what is it now?
It's, as it stands 15 minutes ago, 26 new, 41 went pending. So everything came on, as you predicted, everything came on the market on Friday.
Went under contract over the weekend.
And went under the contract
See,
over
I
the
think
weekend.
what's happening, and I've learned from you, I think what's happening is people are now getting back from vacation.
Yeah. So what has happened there? It's 100% right. So we kind of called this the I wouldn't say the end of COVID, but we're on the other end of the COVID tunnel,
Right.
than on the front
And
end.
people
of it.
pieced out.
That's
They went to
exactly
the
right.
beach or somewhere.
And if you do any traveling or wandering around, the roads are packed.
Yeah.
We're going to go up to New York to visit our grandbabies this weekend, and we're going to do back to the old days of leaving at 2 o'clock in the morning just so I can beat traffic.
I made it during COVID from Charlottesville to Southampton on Long Island in 6 hours and 59 minutes in a car.
Dude.
That's the record for me.
Yeah. No tickets, though.
Well, only no tickets, and only me by myself driving. Didn't have the kid or the wife,
sure.
and I didn't stop at all.
Yeah.
Zero stopping.
Well,
so
at my age, there's about 6 stops on the way
coming
up.
back yesterday,
Yeah.
traffic was horrendous.
Oh, yeah. How long did it take you?
9.5.
That's still
It's still not bad.
That's still
Dude,
really...
I've done that in 13 hours. And in 13 hours when you're making that trip, you want to kill somebody.
Oh, no kidding.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're so white knuckle when it's a 13-hour trip. You've been in a car for so long. You just turn into a completely different person.
So we spent a lot of hours together. We've been 173, 174, how many shows we've been doing. Everybody might have this perception of Keith Smith. Look at me when I go into the Jersey Turnpike on 95. I am a different guy.
Yeah.
A way different guy.
You go 95, not 81?
Well,
95 was freaking brutal. I mean, it might be 81 for us now after all these people post-COVID going up and down.
For us, it adds an extra hour to the trip.
Right.
That's assuming you don't hit any traffic. This is a Mr. and Mrs. Smith debate.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for 35 years.
Oh, 95 or 81?
I like 81. Yona likes 95.
Well, 81 is more driving.
Yeah.
95 is more bumper to bumper.
But it's interesting. When I came back the last time, I did an unofficial survey of EV plugins on the stops. Again, because of my age, I have to stop every couple hours.
And there was more on 95?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, 81 is not, it's more truck centric.
It's a truck thing.
Yeah.
You have to come off and find a sheet or something that has it. It's unofficial.
Yeah.
On that. Great conversation on broadband. A little teaser for tomorrow.
Please. Neil Williamson is sharing some love on that.
We've got an actual expert, a doctor, Dr. Christopher Alley. He's been on our show before. He's going to come in for 15 minutes. He wrote a book specifically about this that's going to come out in September.
Okay.
Can we
Sure,
push back a little bit?
Please.
So you are right on the Albemarle County portion of it taking forever. Albemarle County is behind the 8 ball on it. But Fluvanna, which I represent and I live in Nelson County,
It's doing great.
we already have it in the ground.
Yeah.
So you're 100% right. The full region is going to take some time. The win here, and to me,
Interestingly, Nelson was not included in this joint venture.
because it's already got
It's
it.
already got it. Yeah. Our boy Jesse Rutherford and the Board of Supervisors already have him play. But you saw Fluvanna was included in this JV.
Correct, and you know why?
Tell me.
Because Fluvanna already has it with the Central Virginia Electric Co-op. The thing with Fluvanna is half Dominion and half Central Virginia Co-op. So Lake Monticello itself, you would draw a line right down the middle of the lake. Half of it is Dominion, half of it is the Central Electric Virginia Co-op. So the co-op side has already made this deal. So there was a relationship between Fluvanna County Board of Supervisors, Firefly, and the co-op. And this is an example of how a PPP works, a public-private partnership works, and is a home run. So certain counties were a little slow to it.
Why was Albemarle so slow?
Well, so it's not.
I learned from you on this.
Yeah. So in fairness to Albemarle County and the Board of Supervisors and that, it was Dominion that was dragging their feet. So to understand how this works, right? The way the to ticket, the way this works is the power companies are letting Firefly use their electrical easements.
Okay, so their infrastructure in the ground.
No, they're easements.
Okay.
So I have a magic little swath of land that cuts across your lot.
Okay.
Right? And you own it for utilities. Well, Dominion owns that, so you're Dominion. You own that, and I don't know if that's the case in your case, but there's a Dominion owns these little swath of lands that go through. They don't technically own it; they own the right to go into it, right?
Okay.
So what has happened with the Central Virginia Electric Co-op and Flavanna, and in Nelson with the Central Virginia Electric Co-op, and I can't remember if it's Rappahannock. I can't remember what the co-op is over that way. The co-op said, "Okay, guys, we will partner with you and go ahead and allow you to put your fiber in my easements."
Okay. Okay.
As a recovering developer, you know that's huge. These folks never let anybody else play in their easements.
Well, what's the kickback for them?
Well, their partnership in it, they're going to get a piece of the pie.
So a part of the monthly fee is going to go to Dominion?
Yeah, I don't know how the whole business structure works, but there is a relationship, a fiscal relationship here, and I'm sure Neil is a lot smarter than me and can chime in on the specifics.
Yeah, Neil, if you offer some perspective on that, that would be huge.
But the good doctor tomorrow will be able to tell us specifically about it because he knows a little bit of the details of how this came together. I know it from the periphery as being on the commission, Planning District Commission. But that's the reason. So Flavanna and Nelson got together years ago. Nelson was first, actually.
Yeah, Nelson was first.
Well, actually, Nelson created its own authority and then realized that it needed a partner and to help it to do it. But it got together with these, said, okay, well, who owns the easements, right? How do I get these lines throughout my county to these rural hilltop places? And that's how you do it. You do it in their easements. And you're spot on. All the real estate agents, the market, everybody. This discussion is a utility. This isn't, it'd be really nice if I had broadband.
Yeah.
No, you need broadband.
It's running water.
It is running water. It is power. And what they did is they brushed off this 1930s concept of when they were electrifying Virginia. And that's how these co-ops were created back in the 30s, is they were created by the federal government or the state government, however that process worked, to go ahead and do that and get these easements going all over the place. So that's how that works.
So with the fiber, the fiber companies are going to leverage Dominion's easement. And the fiber companies are going to say, Dominion says to the fiber companies, we have easements where we can put cable infrastructure underground here. Utilize this opportunity to put the fiber underground. You do all the work, fiber companies, broadband companies, and we get a percentage kickback of the monthly rate.
So every time I have a conversation with you, my brain runs for Real Talk panels. We really need to do a Real Talk panel on PPPs,
Okay.
public-private partnerships.
I would love to do that.
They're very complicated, very difficult to do that. So just think of it as a business JV, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we have three entities trying to accomplish something. The Firefly, which by the way is owned by, were created originally by Central Virginia Electric Co-op. They actually created this company as part of this beginning years ago to go ahead and do that. But they don't have the capital to do this. That's a huge amount of money. They have the easements, but they don't necessarily have the capital. And that's when they start teaming up
With Dominion.
Well, no. So Central Virginia Electric Co-op owns their easements already, but what they do is they partner with the government, right? And so between federal dollars and state dollars, and that's why, this infrastructure conversation that they're having at the federal level is so important, because this money will flow down. Some of it is sitting, as you well know, in the state legislature right now that hasn't even been dispersed yet.
Yeah.
At this point. So this is an avenue for that capital to be dispersed to Firefly. Well, it'll go through the state, through the county, to Firefly to get this in the ground. So it's a complicated model.
Why is this years away?
Man, everything's years away with the government. It's just I wish I had some pearl of wisdom to say, well, wave this magic wand, do what Jerry and Smith says, Miller and Smith say, and everything will be done. It's just when you're dealing with three entities that are super bureaucratic, difficult to communicate with. It's like, well, we know what to do to fix affordable housing. Well, how come we haven't done it? Well, we haven't done it because it's just such a complicated issue, and Dominion Power has its own thing and its own political issues or corporate issues. Fluvanna County has what it's trying to achieve. I mean, a prime example is it took over 3 decades to get water designs crossroads in Fluvanna County. Why did it take that long? Pretty much a no-brainer. Louisa County beat our pants on that.
Neil Williams had just sent a press release from Dominion. More than 25,000 Central Virginians could get broadband access through the Regional Broadband Partnership, June 24, 2021, so recent press release. Dominion Energy Virginia Firefly Fiber Broadband, a wholly owned subsidiary of Central Virginia Electric Cooperative, Rappahannock Electric Cooperative, and the counties of Albemarle, Appomattox, Buckingham, Cumberland, Fluvanna, Goochland, Greene, Louisa, and Powhatan have entered into a memorandum of understanding to advance a regional broadband partnership that aims to deliver the fiber optic broadband service to unserved and underserved households and businesses in areas of Central Virginia. It's subject to regulatory approval. The partnership is enabled by bipartisan legislation adopted during the 2021 General Assembly.
Correct.
This is 25,000 Virginians who currently lack it, so still a very small percentage. The population of Central Virginia is somewhere between 300 and 350.
Yeah.
So we're talking less than 10%.
But percentage of them already have it.
A percentage already have it. That's
Yeah,
true.
right.
That's true.
So I want to twist this around a little bit. This is so the Regional Broadband Partnership is much like the Regional Housing Partnership. It's a regional body, and to me this is a win. Everybody should have it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's a start, right? And I know for guys like you and I, that frustrates the hell out of us.
Yeah.
To do that, for me, I'm spinning it a little bit more. This regional broadband partnership is working. That's what I'm trying to do with the Regional Housing Partnership, to get this regional concept and these regional players and these different private-public partnerships together to actually reverse housing. So we're going to get there. But for guys like you and I, it's not fast enough.
James wants to know if he thinks James, your brother-in-law, friend of the show.
Hey, James, how you doing,
Do you
buddy?
think these houses will keep selling quickly as we get further away from COVID?
Yes.
You do?
It's a simple supply and demand thing. There is no doubt in it. Unless there is some, God forbid, unforeseen thing happens, and then it hurts everybody. But man, I mean, as Neil put in the show on Friday, we're 5.5 million units short, new construction. It's just, there's just, the baby boomers are coming in droves. Boomers, me, are here. It's just, and our region just keeps on growing. It's funny, I had a conversation with some family members up in Connecticut, and we're going up there to go do the 4th of July, and they were actually talking about, I think you brought this up on a show, on how we're becoming this tourist destination because of our vaccination rates.
I mean, New York Times put in the world newspaper.
Yeah. And that's an actual conversation having with people in Connecticut, because we were talking about where we're going to go for the 4th of July and what are we going to do.
That conversation, so I'm talking to everybody wherever I go.
Sure.
So we were at a place that you know well, Claudio's.
Oh, I love Claudio's.
In Greenport, is that right?
Greenport, yeah.
Greenport. Claudio's was amazing.
100 years ago, man, I was there.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't 100 years ago. But
98.
It was 98?
98 years ago.
And I bet you it looks a lot different.
Last time I was there, it was, oh my God, 84, 85?
I brought it up. They asked, where are you guys from? The table next to us, we said Charlottesville, Virginia. They literally said, man, you guys are doing great with vax.
No kidding.
The table next to us Claudio's in Greenport.
Yeah, sure.
That says something. And those people are going to come down here, spend vacation here, and they're going to fall in love with the area like we have.
That's why you only have...
This is like best place to live in America all over again, USA Today.
That's why you only got 15 houses at Glenmore, and only 3 of them you actually can buy.
Yeah.
Today.
The rest are proposed...
Today.
What's up, Bashir? Bashir, we were giving some props to your location here on the show. We love you, Bashir.
He's a rock star, man.
He is a rock star. So, final question for you. This is from Grayson, and then we got to get to the punch list here. Grayson says, Jerry, ask Keith your take on the downtown mall with the time to start a business, and also ask Keith your take if they made a mistake on that parking garage.
Okay, 2 questions. So I'll answer the first one. Well, we opened up our own brokerage in the middle of COVID, so that tells you how we feel about that. When it's like anything. When it's the right time, it's the right time. So, and I was listening as I was walking over. I don't disagree with you. Once Core comes up, once the ABEX comes online, once the
Fries After 5, the Pavilion.
Co-Construct gets online. Yona and I are opera fans, so we're excited about that, to go to that, to see that back up again and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think the only struggle I personally have, and I think we'll tie it to the parking garage, because we looked at one of these spaces where you were talking about. For us, parking is super important.
Yeah.
Because we're not a walk-by business,
right?
So I'm assuming the second portion is what is my opinion on, are we doing the parking garage, are we not? Is that kind of what you think that is?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Because all these things are about to come on market. They're about, I mean, we're both hearing that the beer garden's very close to approval.
Yeah.
What's going to happen once code, everything you identify?
Code has its own parking,
minimal,
supposedly.
Absolutely. Yeah, not for everybody in there.
Absolutely. Well, again, I'm going to pivot a little bit to the interview I did about the pet and the bike, because what they wanted to know is my opinion of missing middle and upzoning. So that was the wrong question they asked me. How much time do you have? But the reality of it is, and we got to talking about electric bikes. Right?
Yeah.
And our Matthew Gilligan, did I pronounce his last name right?
You did.
Is a huge proponent of it. And what has happened in all these areas that have done that, people are living in these missing middle properties. They're getting on their rad electric bike, and they're taking it over to the code building.
You're saying they're not using cars.
They're not using cars.
So we still got to see whether or not that could impact parking around the mall.
Way above.
What's going to happen? This is what I think is going to happen. I think I will give it to the counselors. Waiting was the right move.
Oh yeah, okay, we're on the same page.
Waiting was the right move. But what's going to end up happening is all these things are literally going to come on market the exact same time.
Poof.
Yeah.
It always does.
It always does.
You want to sell something? Go on vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
All that's going to happen.
You want a contract?
And then they're going to be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What are we going to do here?
Yeah, so I think if I was sitting on city council, I would have made that call. Let's hurry up and wait, right, a little bit on that end of it. Don't know if that would have been the right call, the wrong call. You and I don't have a lot of the inner workings information on it. I think the simple answer is, you're a downtown guy, right?
Love downtown.
I wander downtown almost as much as you do. It's starting to come back alive.
Oh my God.
Okay.
It's gangbusters.
Yeah.
Is it not?
I did not want to be.
Yeah. Do you not think it's gangbusters?
I freaking think it is.
Yeah.
All you got to do is try to go out and get something to eat.
Exactly. And not only, he's exactly right. And we know that there's 3 or 4 major businesses about to reopen. Fridays After 5 in the Pavilion's about to get its concert series going again. And if this beer garden concept, which we know, right? I mean, good Lord, that's all happening at the same time.
Yona and I wanted to go out for dinner Friday night. We were working late. It was 7:30. Got on my resi, got on my open table.
Were they all booked?
Everything was booked.
Downtown?
Downtown, forget downtown, Smoustown. I was trying to go to Aberdeen. I was trying to go any place.
And couldn't find anything.
Couldn't find any place open until 9:30. At our age, 9:30, I'm sound
So what'd you
asleep.
do?
We went home, picked up a little sushi on the way home, and had dinner at home. A little glass of rosé and some sushi. It was good, but I was disappointed and super excited at the same time.
Well said.
Right, I was disappointed I couldn't get. I was really looking forward to a martini and a drink and a little something to eat.
You were happy for the merchants.
Absolutely, my better 7/8. But I was super happy for that, and it's also a sign that I think that the labor situation for the restaurant business is getting a little bit better because
Yeah.
you're starting to see them open up for lunch.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So that's good because that was always the pushback is, okay, I can't open for lunch because I don't have the servers or the cooks or the chefs to properly do that. So,
How about a tease for Real Talk tomorrow?
yeah, tomorrow we're going to have the good doc on. He's going to be on for about 15 or 20 minutes, a little pre-programming stuff, guys.
There you go, Judah. There's the pre-production meeting.
The pre-production meeting. We're going to talk about this because he's really an expert at it and he has a meeting to do. And then after that, we'll do Batman and Robin. And on Friday, we're going up to Connecticut, but
I've been talking with Quentin.
so he
Yeah,
you know
he
what's
reached out
going.
to me.
You know what his plans are.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be fun.
Should
a lot
be
of fun.
fun.
A lot of fun.
Also, maybe a new whip in his forecast. I don't know if you saw that. Talk about that later.
Oh, I did not. Oh,
Yeah, it's something nice.
when you say whip with Quentin, I get a little nervous.
Whip, I mean.
Come on, that was good. You left me hanging here. You left me hanging.
That was hilarious. So whip in that scenario means car.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. All right, that's the show,
But
guys.
mine was funnier.
Yeah, yours was way funny, especially with QB. It's the I Love CVille show. Thank you to Dr. Wagner of Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine for being a part of the show. We are back Tuesday, tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. with Real Talk. This guy's A-plus people. It's a lot of fun, but a lot of approachable education. We educate you through entertainment on Real Talk. That's pretty much what we do, right?
And this guy's A-plus people. A-plus people. You don't get enough kudos for that. You're A-plus people,
Right
man.
back at you, my friend. Thank you, Judah. Thank you, Keith. I'm Jerry. We'll see you tomorrow at 10:15. Take care. Good job, buddy.
We got like business to do or something?
Yeah, so we're ready for you. Check this out.